If you're looking for the answers, I still don't have them. But what I do have is a particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people who mislead, misinform, or misrepresent the sports card industry. So if you don't do that, I'll let it go. But if you do, we're going to talk about you. This episode is brought to you by the great people over at GradeSaver Pro. Make sure you visit GradeSaverPro.com for all your card supply needs, including the GradeSaver Pro Card Sleeve, the only sleeve with an attached pull tab, and the only sleeve I will use for my cards. And make sure when you check out, use code INVESTIGATOR. That will give you 25% off your entire order. And thanks again to the great people at GradeSaver Pro for our episode giveaway. After each episode, we will give away some of the great products from GradeSaver Pro. To be eligible, it's simple. Simply like and subscribe to the video, leave a comment, and if you're randomly selected, we will be in touch and tell you the next steps. So, congratulations to last episode's winners, and good luck to you. With that, Ty, hit the music! Welcome everyone to another episode of the Sports Card Investigator Show. My name is Andy. I am the aforementioned Sports Card Investigator, and I like movies. You guys like movies? I like, who doesn't like movies, right? Old movies, new movies. Good movies are good movies. And sometimes we need a distraction from life, from the hobby, right? With everything going on. Movies are magical. They trigger something deep inside, an emotion, a memory, where you were when you first watched it, who you were with, what it meant. Maybe the best way to describe a good movie is an escape. For those 2 hours, you're just in another place. Now for me, I have movies that I refer to as like stop movies. You guys got those? You know what I'm talking about, right? You're flipping through the stations and you come upon a movie, and no matter where that movie is, whether it's in the beginning, the end, 5 minutes left, you just stop and watch it, and then you watch it for as long as you can, and then if not, you just move on and you go on your way. I have a few of those movies: Jaws, Heat, Goodfellas, Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and Rocky Balboa. Rocky 5 doesn't exist in my opinion. My wife has some. Remember the Titans, Just Go With It, Sound of Music, Seabiscuit. I'm convinced that she could do a constant loop of those movies, never watch any other movies, and she'd be perfectly content. Now again, one of the ones that I love is A Few Good Men. I just love that movie. And when I was watching it the other day, I had this crazy idea. I said, with everything going on in the hobby, all the drama, would it be funny if we inserted our hobby into the movie? And if you haven't seen A Few Good Men, first off, what's wrong with you? Second, pause this video right now. You have permission. You have my permission. Pause this video and just go to a YouTube search engine and say, "You can't handle the truth." And then come back to this video at this part. And then when you get some time, watch the whole movie. You won't be sorry. But in that movie, there is a climactic moment where Lieutenant Kaffee, played by Tom Cruise, gets the antagonist, Colonel Jessup, played by the great Jack Nicholson, on the stand. And Lieutenant Kaffee tries to get Colonel Jessup to admit to something. It's epic. The whole movie is great, but that's just such an epic scene. So I thought, wouldn't it be a funny premise if we took, as a community, a fictional, holier-than-thou, narcissistic, arrogant sports card influencer, our Colonel Jessup, and got him on the stand and just ask him why he creates the content that he creates. I think we're entitled I think we are entitled, don't you? Unless, of course, you can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has sports cards as a hobby, and that hobby has to be guarded by sports card influencers. Who else is going to do it? You? You, Lieutenant Cardboard? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for strangers and you curse the influencers. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That when bad things happen in the hobby, while tragic, is a foundation of my content in which you crave. And while my existence is grotesque and incomprehensible to you, you crave my content. You don't want the truth because deep down in places that you don't talk about, discords and group chats, you want me on YouTube. You need me on YouTube. We use words like algorithms, subscribers, and likes. We use these words as a backbone of a life spent in content. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very content I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just say thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you buy a camera and start your own channel. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to. Best actor from a YouTube channel goes to... Not quite, but that was fun, right? And don't read into it. It had nothing to do with anything. It was just something I thought was funny and entertaining. And who doesn't like to be entertained? But it's a crazy, crazy time in our hobby. Insane, actually. More drama than a telenovela. And I do my best to stay away from the drama. Granted, sometimes it does find me. Might find me after this video. But honestly, I don't care about, a lot of it. People can believe who they want to, listen to who they want to, attack who they want to. That's human nature. I don't agree with it, but I do understand it. And right or wrong, and people can defend who they want to. Now that to me is one of the most interesting dynamics I have seen over the past few weeks. That to me is a very interesting study in human behavior. The defense of individuals, influencers and such that people don't even know. And in the words of Tony Soprano, I'm going to say some bad words and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. Some of these guys that people are professing their love, admiration, devotion to, I hate to tell you guys, but if you were on fire, some of them wouldn't even pee on you. Unless, of course, they had a camera crew following them, but that's another story. I just find it odd that people go out of their way to defend people that they don't even know. Well, I take that back. You guys do know them from YouTube, or maybe you say hello to them at a card show, or you share a special glance. I don't know. But I will tell you, I have blood relatives that I don't treat as well as some of you treat people you don't even know, except for seeing them on a computer screen. But hey, free will. Everyone can do whatever they want. And I've been sitting back and watching this all play out. The reactions, the excuses, the explanations, and the apologies. Oh, baby. Those apologies. You know who loves this? Content creators. It makes awesome content. Other guys and gals love it too. You never hear from them. They're sitting back, lurking in the back room, lurking in the background. They're laughing their asses off. Some of them are actually hiding in plain sight. And while I'm on a roll, let me just briefly touch on all this scamming stuff that's taken hold of the hobby. In reality, scamming's always been here. It's nothing new. It's just coming more into the light as more and more people get into the hobby. And no one should be surprised about what is going on. And I'm going to tell you something you already know. Anytime you have money and influence involved and people see a chance to take advantage of a naivete of a susceptible group or the sheer gullibility or trustworthiness of a segment of society, then Katie, bar the door, because you're going to have guys and groups of people that bust through and do just that, and that's what we're seeing more and more and more of. And I was going to tell you to trust me, but you don't have to trust me because that's not an opinion, guys. This is a cold, hard fact. And I will tell you without hesitation, question, or pause, The sports card community is filled with the best, the nicest, the most giving, trusting people on the planet. The most trusting people I have ever encountered, almost to a fault. And again, here we go. I'm the bad guy, but I'm not wired that way. I'm just not. Call me jaded, a jerk. That's fine, but I lived in a world filled with the worst of the worst. And it was bad business to trust anyone. It was a bad business decision to trust people who you don't know. And if that seems insensitive or crass, well, guys, you know me by now. I'm not here to blow rainbows and lollipops up the wazoo. That serves no purpose. And this is the world we live in. Ignore it, and you will suffer the consequences. But look, where's the hobby going forward? In the words of the great Willy Wonka, there's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. Every time you think you got it figured out, every time you're on your way, you plot your course and the plot thickens. You try to make smart decisions and you get thrown a curveball. And that's another thing. Try to make smart decisions. I know it's not always easy, but make them your own. Make them your own decisions, right? Don't make someone else's decisions. Making your own mistakes is bad enough, but making someone else's mistake really sucks. And finally, I'll leave you with this. Don't get caught up in all the BS, and never forget what got you here in the first place. So that's it for today. I want to say a special thank you. I just recently looked, and we have over 2,000 subscribers, and I just can't believe it. I want to thank all you guys. I know we're getting some new people on board. I'm getting some comments from some really great people, some new people I'm seeing for the first time, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. So, if you like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you don't like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And until next time, take care.